Hi there, this is the long overdue edition of the TBK podcast. I'm your host David, and I've got tonight with me Tunde, and I've got Lee, or LL, as he's better known. And we are going to talk about the upcoming Wilder Fury trilogy match. An intriguing one that we've kind of not particularly been looking forward to, but as it gets nearer, we want to see something happen like that now, because it's all got very interesting in the heavyweight division. We're going to go straight into things, and I'm going to ask guys your thoughts on the upcoming fight. I'll start with Tunde.
Up until a month ago, my opinion was that, Wilder would just get flattened. I still hold to that opinion, but I'm just thinking there might be a possibility that, it doesn't all go Fury's way. But having said that, the closer it's gotten to the actual fight, the more spicy it's become, which is really, really good. So, I don't know, a while ago, I was does this really need to happen again? You saw what happened last time, but I'm actually really up for this fight. I want to see if Fury does everything that it's supposed to do. I also want to see how Wilder, if he's able to improve, on the last fight. To be honest, because he got absolutely ragdolled. There's a lot to be said for the fight. It's interesting because with the second fight, the way that Wilder just got absolutely destroyed from the first round to the seventh when he got stopped was just nuts. And I want to see what, if any, changes he's made, with regards to how he's going to perform. He's removed Breland, who actually saved him, and he's brought in his prime ass kisser, Mr. Yes Man, Malik Scott. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm really happy to see what happens. I'm looking forward to this fight.
Okay. And LL, give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on what's approaching, man.
Well, right now, I don't even know, man. When it's basically what Tunde said, when the fight was first announced, there was a big come down because we was all getting ready to watch the Anthony Joshua, fight with Tyson Fury for undisputed. And when the Wilder fight was announced, it was just like, what the fuck? It was, what I'm trying to say. It wasn't, the Wilder fight's a good fight, but it's not the fight that I wanted to see personally, because I wanted to see that undisputed thing happen. So it was like Wilder was like a bit of like the kind of bad guy kind of thing. Then there was the first press conference, and Wilder gave everyone the silent treatment and didn't answer none of the questions, pertaining to some of the excuses that came out, whether they were true or whatnot. He didn't. He just went completely silent. And then I started watching the All Access, and I found the editing quite interesting. Yeah, because obviously these are programs, so it is editing. What I'm trying to say. So you don't know how true a story it's telling. But I kind of found that it was painting the picture that Wilder's just this man possessed, and he's just going through you ever watch like a Rocky movie or like a superhero movie where the superhero gets fucked up and that, and then they go into training mode and that, and man's all rascal breaking bricks, they get into training mode and that man's all fucking breaking bricks and that with his palm. He's taking fucking steel bars and he's wrapping it around his arms and that 3 times and shit, and dashing the steel bar. And, you know what I mean? He's doing like a whole bag of stuff, and you're like, okay, Wilder looks like he's like really motivated for this. Yeah. And then they switch over to the Fury camp, and you got Fury doing silly dances with Ross Clark, with his trainer. I'm trying to say his name, that's Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
So silly dancing with Sugar Hill, they play fighting, and Fury's just having a laugh, and it's like, I'm like, okay, are they trying to paint the impression that Fury's not focused and Wilder's just, like demented and that, yeah? Now, if that's the case, it makes it interesting, because then maybe Wilder might land that punch. And to be fair, in every fight that they've had so far, Wilder has landed that punch. In the first fight, he dropped Fury. In the second fight, Fury took it well, but it stung him. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So chances are he can actually land that punch again. So Fury might be overconfident in this one, and he might get landed on. But at the same time, it might just be a repeat of what happened last time. All that training Wilder's doing, bro, don't mean nothing, innit? All that editing that Rouse Clock Showtime's doing and that, it don't mean nothing to you, fam. I don't know. I can't call it, bro. Look, but it's like, look, boxing's been a little bit kind of shit lately, innit? Yeah, just due to the whole COVID thing and all of that. And the heavyweight division, the landscape's changed again. You know, with the recent loss of Anthony Joshua, against Alexander Usyk. Mm-hmm. It's changed everything now, because it's like the money that was on the table for Fury and that, with like the Joshua fight. I mean, it is potentially still there, but it wouldn't be for undisputed. It would just be for none the belts. Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, Joshua's still got that situation guy with Usyk. Now, if Fury beats Wilder, the people are going to start talking about, or Wilder beats Fury, they're going to start talking about that person facing Usyk. So it will be interesting to see how the winner plays their hand. Are they going to try go for Joshua, or are they going to try and go for Usyk? Or are they just going to try and go for a nothing fight? Because I just think that would be dead. Once you're at that kind of level, you need to kind of stay fighting at that level. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I kind of rambled on a little bit, but go on, Dave.
No, you made some very valid points, man. Both of you have. To be honest with you, like, I like your take on it as well. I like both takes on it. The thing for me, especially having watched last night's final presser,
I didn't watch it. I need to watch it.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely need to watch it. You definitely do need to watch it.
Wilder talked this time, though.
Wilder spoke. He tried to be calculating. Thing is, I think Fury made some really valid points, and Fury is really trying to play the role of the alpha here, because he Kate Abdo was like, "Oh, could you sit down?" He's like, "I don't need to sit down. I'm alright." He stayed on his feet the whole time. He was walking up and down. He's fully exploiting his, I guess you could say, superiority in terms of the mind games. Because Wilder really ain't good at playing mind games. You know what I mean? I think Wilder's thing.
You need a mind to play mind games.
Sorry to cut you off, Dave. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Fury has been known as this guy to play mind games, and I do think that he does play mind games to a certain degree. But I also think a lot of it is just fight nerves as well. A lot of the talking and stuff that he does, do you know what I mean? It's like he feels uncomfortable with silence. Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say to you? It's like, I can't explain it, but sometimes nerves and stuff like that make you act a certain kind of way. I'm not saying he's not trying to play mind games, but it is part nerves leading up to the fight as well. Like, he don't know what's going to happen on the fight. Like, he can only go in there and fight.
No one does, bro, because we know that he's fighting against a man that's got the equalizer. Do you know what I'm saying? I know, right? Yeah, they fought against each other twice, and he went down in the first fight and not so much in the second. Cool, but for me, looking at what it is that he's doing, he's basically using the upper hand, because effectively he won the first fight. He wasn't given a decision. The second fight was a no-brainer. He clearly won the fight. Do you know what I mean? And I think that, even though it could be pre-fight nerves, and I do actually agree with what you're saying. However, flipping that around, what's clear to me is that he's taken an opportunity to use the upper hand because he has actually won.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wilder hasn't won in any of the fights, and if anything, he did get a gift in the first fight, like without
with the draw.
Regardless of what anyone says, he got a gift in the first fight. Do you know what I mean? Now, what we're looking at here is this guy. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he's talking about in terms of knocking him out and all that stuff and what have you, it's kind of funny because he's not really knocked out anyone top level, but he stopped him. Do you know what I mean? And if people are going to turn around and say that Andy Ruiz knocked out AJ, then Tyson Fury knocked out Wilder. Do you know what I
mean?
Yeah. But you're saying but the thing is, you got to think, a lot of the people that are supporting Wilder were screaming about AJ getting knocked out by Ruiz, but were saying, Fury did knock him out because he was on his feet, and Mark Breland threw in the towel.
To be fair, like, the Joshua loss to Ruiz, and the Deontay Wilder loss to Tyson Fury, they were both similar in the sense that they were both embarrassing losses. Do you understand? Like, they got pinged all over the ring. Do you know what I mean? Both of them. Difference is, Joshua, the momentum changed with one punch. That one punch just changed the whole momentum of the fight. Whereas Fury, from the opening bell, he just dismantled Deontay Wilder. I feel like the beatdown that Wilder took from Fury psychologically, may probably be more damaging than than the loss that AJ took to Andy Ruiz, because I feel like in AJ's mind, he could always convince himself that he made that one mistake when he leaped in too early. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? And he knew that in the rematch, all he had to do was not leap in. Yeah, but we have seen the psychological effects of that loss. Yeah, because Joshua's styles kind of changed a little bit. He doesn't just come marching forward like a machine anymore now. He's been trying to box, and he tried to box against Usyk. With Deontay Wilder, we're yet to see what kind of effects that beatdown has, because the difference is this: it wasn't just one thing that changed the momentum of that fight. Like, Fury was better than him from the opening bell, and he literally just manhandled him all over the ring. But I don't know how Deontay can look at that and say, "Oh, I done this thing here wrong." Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like how it was with Joshua, like where it was that one punch. So,
but
let's just see what kind of Wilder turns up.
Here's the thing, right? Now, I know what you're saying about the All Access, which is funny. I've watched the presser, you've not, and you've watched the All Access, and I haven't. What I believe, from what I'm seeing, is what Wilder said. He's basically said that Malik Scott is bringing nothing new to him. It's just he's not getting out of him anything new or trying to bring nothing new. He's getting out of him what was already there. Well, if what was already there is what we're going to see more of,
it's a madness for him.
We're going to see repeat.
Yeah, but we're gonna see
repeat.
We're gonna see his fucking head dented on the other side now. Like, it's gonna be mad for him, bro. You get me? Because that he done didn't work twice over, man.
You know what? I think what we will see is, if that is the case, then Wilder's gonna get knocked spark out. Yeah, he was stopped. Right? The referee jumped in. This time, if it goes that way, he will get sparked out cold.
Well, he will, because this time it's likely that no matter how bad he is, the towel won't get thrown in.
Yeah.
So the referee will stop it.
Right.
The referee will stop it.
And the thing is, for me, and Fury said this in the presser as well. He needed to be giving Mark Breeden a pay rise, not getting rid of the guy, because he made the right decision. And Fury also said, "Look, you know what? JD's was there when I was getting my hands wrapped. So whatever conspiracy theory you've got in your head, he was in on it." Do you know what I mean?
I think with the whole Breland thing and all of that, there was clearly probably issues that were going on within the camp beforehand. Yeah, and that's how it's kind of translated over into this. Whereas
were there though? That's speculation, bro. He likes yes men.
Yeah, but that's what we're doing now. You're speculating. I'm just saying. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, like the Breland thing, he was kind of the scapegoat in that whole situation, and that, But I'm saying, I don't think that situation was just simply about what happened in the ring. There was clearly a lack of respect or something going on, behind the scenes, in that for you to kind of out your trainer like that. I feel like with Deontay Wilder, even him appointing Malik Scott as his new trainer, it kind of tells a little bit of a story to me that he. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if he liked being, what's the word? I don't know, tutored, because he seemed like he's hard to train. Because Breland, everyone says how much of a master boxer Breland was and stuff, but then he had Deontay Wilder, and he just couldn't teach Deontay Wilder to do anything other than throw the right hand. Yeah, so now it's like,
I don't think Deontay Wilder wanted to know anything more than that.
Yeah, right, that's my point. Yeah, so out of all the trainers that are out there, you have these trainers who will literally mentor you in that, and actually, what I'm trying to say to you, but they you got to respect them. You're dealing with a grandmaster kind of thing. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And it's like, but Deontay, he's gone for Malik Scott, someone who he actually knocked out already. It's like when you're looking at this man and this man's teaching you stuff in that, like in your mind and that, how much are you actually respecting him? Do you understand what I'm saying? To want to absorb his knowledge. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if Lennox Lewis, for example, is talking to Deontay Wilder, Deontay Wilder's going to listen because Lennox has done it all. Lennox is like a grandmaster to him. But Malik Scott, he's someone who you knocked out. Do you know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying about the whole yes men thing. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like, seems like Deontay wants to do what he wants to do. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Whereas, I don't know. I don't know about the whole Malik Scott thing, man, and how that's gonna work.
No, it was definitely a feel good factor appointment. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna have someone who was cheerleading for him before he knocked him out. Yeah, and the fact that he said it in the press conference. this is somebody that I probably grew closer to after beating him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it does.
That's what I'm saying. It's the whole ego thing. It's like, you have to be like on top of the mountain. It's like, oh yeah, I even knocked out my trainer kind of thing. Like, okay, so if you knocked out, you must be thinking that if you knocked out this man, what can this man show you? Like, I don't, because you knocked him out. So how can he teach you?
Well,
you say, no, I was going to say, how can he teach you how not to get knocked out? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like when you knocked him out, like.
You sound like Tyson Fury.
Just like Tyson Fury.
Yeah. Tyson said we've got a bum training a bum. Yeah.
Oh man.
He said that at the first.
Did he?
Conference when
and he said it yesterday.
But he got a bum training a bum.
Here's the thing with Wilder, right? Wilder's shown, throughout the latter stages of his career, that he's delusional. Even his excuses for the last fight were just absolutely off key, right? There was no basis in fact. There was nothing, right? This is somebody who, as you said, Lee and David, he feeds on ego, and he feeds on being told, like, yeah, you're the best, you're this, you're that, and he feeds off being like, I mean, JD,
he's a king, and heavyweight division is his castle, and bruv. He's just like, it's too much, bro.
This is
even when he talks, I'm sorry to go off, but even when he talks, like, he sounds like a Bond villain. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
He's trying to be one. Listen, it's like he's trying to be one. He's trying to be one.
Like, he's not even articulate enough to even be a Bond villain.
He says his words all wrong and that.
It's and then you've got those nutty American pseudo journalists who just up his ass, telling you all sorts of crap. I remember seeing one video where they were, you've always been strong about social commentary. What are your thoughts about? He was just talking some nonsense. This is somebody who, I could go on and on, but his delusion is something that influences his actions. He's got no clue about anything. The fact that he's hired Malik Scott, as you said, somebody who he beat, who he knocked out, to train him, just says it all. And the fact that he still retained his original trainer, was it JD's?
Yeah, but he's his manager as well. That's why he's
right. So then there's a obvious conflict of interest, but that's the usual thing in boxing anyway.
Well, yeah.
But that's another yes man. Like, he's not going to go against anything that Wilder says, right? And the fact that you touched on a really good point in that there must have been something going on beforehand for Wilder to switch the way that he did on Breland. He was a scapegoat. He was the easy target. The fact that Breland saved him, potentially saved him from a serious injury, right? And he thanks him by getting rid of him. Like, he wants to go out on his shield. What a dickhead! He's talking shit. Go out on his shield. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
But fighters say it all the time, but I guess Wilder really means that shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's showing people on his team, listen, you do that shit, you're getting sacked, innit?
Again, though, that might be so, but as Tunde mentioned earlier on, there's a certain level of delusion attached to this guy, and I think that decision highlights it, because all fighters have a sense of that little bit of delusion anyway. Not in the sense of like, they
Wilder.
They want to go all in. They want to go all in. They want to go all in and keep going.
Some guys are just so driven. It's like when certain things happen, they have to convince themselves that it happened because of this particular thing. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, a fighter will look, like they say, fighters always have injuries. Do you understand? They always have some type of injury. A fighter will go in there, and they will win a fight, and they will never ever mention their injury. It's an injury that they've won plenty of fights with. They'll go in there and they will lose, and they will mention, because I had a bad finger, or I had. They will try and convince themselves of a reason for why they've lost. So it gives
but what is the reason he lost? What is the reason he lost? What is the reason he lost?
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
I'm listening, but what is the reason he lost?
Listen,
because one
bro.
minute it was his costume, then
You're
it
not
was
listening.
then it was
Okay, but I get all of that. We've gone over this how many times? Yeah, we know the whole story and everything that he said. Yeah, my point is, yeah, sometimes some fighters they have to convince themselves of certain things, yeah, to motivate themselves, yeah, for the get back. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's it. Because if all that he has to accept is that Fury is better than him, yeah, then why go in there and get your ass beaten again? He can't convince himself of that. He's a fighter. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? But that's the same reason why fighters need to have people in their corner that's going to protect them. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah, so Wilder now, if he goes in there and he starts getting pinged all over the place and blood starts coming out of his ear again, yeah, he's going to either have to lay on his back here or make it to the 12th round because no one's pulling him out other than the referee. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. I can't tell you why he lost. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I just think he just lost because Fury was just better than him and he surprised him. But as a fighter, you can't convince yourself of that. Otherwise, why step in the ring?
No, yeah, you're in the wrong sport if you think that way.
Do you understand?
You're in the wrong sport if you think that way. My thing is that I think we've heard more than enough rubbish from this guy. And in all honesty, if that changes on Saturday, tip my cap.
Fuck it, I want Wilder to win now. I don't like your attitude towards Wilder, man. I don't like your attitude, man. Nah, man.
You don't like
I want Wilder to win. Yeah, I don't like your attitude towards Wilder.
All right.
Yeah,
No problem. Right? Cool. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if he wins, I tip my cap to him. But I just think.
I'm the same.
There are so many suspicious things at play here in terms of how he's managed the situation. That if he were to win, yes, while I tip my cap to him, I'll be slightly surprised because, well, then again, actually, no, you know what? I won't be surprised because we know, like I said before, he's got the equalizer. Yeah, he's probably the only heavyweight now that I can think of that's got a one punch knockout on him.
Yeah, it's like a special move, isn't it? He's like one punch man, ain't he?
Yeah, it's exactly that. And the thing is, he acknowledges it. He only has to be good for a couple of seconds where everyone's got to be good for 12 rounds. He acknowledges that. Do you know what I mean? But I do think, because we've got to get towards wrapping this up now, I do think that Wilder is definitely looking real focused, real motivated, but at the same time, Fury's also got a point to prove because this is his first ever title defense.
That's right.
That's getting thrown in his face.
Yeah, he needs to get that defense under his belt, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
He definitely does.
He's never defended the title.
Never defended the title apart from the Lillian one.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, there's also the other thing where, like, now he's starting to cement legacy now.
Yes.
You know, regardless whether we like it or not, the fact that he fights Wilder again. And if he does what he did in the last fight, then he's beaten him 3 times. I don't care what the stats say. He's beaten him 3 times. He's cemented his legacy he's well on his way.
He hasn't cemented it. He hasn't cemented it.
He's well on his way to
Fury, right?
Look, hold on. Like, okay, let's put it this way, right? This somebody's never lost.
Yeah.
Right? Joshua's lost now twice.
Yeah.
He's beaten Deontay, right? And drawn with him in the first fight, right?
Yeah.
So as a heavyweight, he has not been beaten. Nobody has beaten him. Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Nobody
that,
fought has beaten him, right?
Yeah.
He's beaten somebody who at one point everybody else was saying.
Yeah, we get all that. We get all that. Yeah, we get all that.
But what I'm saying to you is that, like, whether we like it or not, he beats him again. He's on his way to cementing his
Okay, let me say, yeah. Obviously, his career is active right now, and he's still cementing his legacy every fight that he has, yeah. But after this fight with Deontay Wilder, should he win, yeah? If Fury then went in against Alexander Usyk and became undisputed, he could retire and say, like, you know, he proved he was the best out of everyone because, you know, he pinged Deontay Wilder. Joshua lost. He got undisputed, and then, you know, you know what I mean? Some fighters like to do that. They'll cut it kind of short, but it's like okay, you did do bits in your career as well, though, innit? You never fought a lot of good people, but you fought the top guys at a particular kind of time or whatever. Or you know what I mean? You fought some top names in that year. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay Wilder, and should it be Usyk or Joshua, whoever? Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, that would be the three big names, innit? But all the other guys who Joshua's had to fight, yeah, and the guys who like Dillian White has had to fight, Fury hasn't done that. Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? But he has beat names that have mattered. Yeah, but he's done it twice. Yeah, if he goes in there a third time, becomes undisputed in that, yeah, then to me, like, he will be in the conversation whether we like it or not.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
I get it in that sense.
He's on his way.
Yeah,
he hasn't submitted.
No, I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is, it doesn't stop at Deontay Wilder. If he was to beat Deontay Wilder and then say, "Oh, that's it now, I've retired," it's like, yeah, bro, you're running away. Why are you running for? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? He's still got more to do. Whereas if he beat Usyk and he become undisputed, then I think he said he's retiring. It's a little different. People be more kind of like, all right, cool, you did do bits, and I'm not happy with how you done it. It's a bit, but you did do it, innit? Like, on paper, innit? It's all. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. He couldn't end it after the only win. Yeah.
No, I'll get that.
With everything said, then I guess it's only time now to ask for predictions. What are you saying, gents? I'll start with LL.
I'm saying Deontay Wilder's gonna knock out Tyson Fury.
Okay.
I'm believing in like the Shaolin Temple tactics that this man has been. Do you know what I mean? This guy's been watching Kung Fu. Yeah, you know, he's been watching Shaolin versus Lama. All of these kind of Kung Fu's here, all the old school ones. Malik Scott and that. You get what I'm trying to say? Deontay's gonna go in there. See them logs that he's been picking up and that, doing the bench presses with? Yeah? He's going to go in there, yeah, and he's going to ping Fury, and Fury's going to get dropped. Yeah? That's what I'm saying.
All right. T, what are you saying?
A month ago, I would have said Fury all day long. I think I'm going to stick with Fury, but...
I thought you was about to do a dramatic U-turn there. Yeah, you know, I was going to pick Fury, but now I'm going to stick with Fury. Yeah.
Me, to be honest with you, I still feel like I did in the first two fights, in that Fury gets caught correctly, anything's possible, but I just think I think repeat. I honestly think repeat, yeah. Because can you imagine if this not repeat, that we might be looking for a full fight. Yeah,
I don't think there'll be a full fight. No, I think Deontay beats him. Deontay ain't going back to all this trouble. You know what I'm trying to say? The smartest thing he could really do in that year is say to try and fight Joshua. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And maybe Joshua can get like a fight with Deontay Wilder in between having to go back in the ring against Usyk. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Hopefully leave Fury and Usyk to scrap it out, and then the winner of that fight, you know, give Joshua a shot at the undisputed. If they, you know what I'm trying to say? Maybe that's something that can happen, but yeah, that won't happen though, will it?
It is wishful thinking. Let's
be honest. Of course.
But yeah, guys, it's been great to be back at it, man. Yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy one, because we've been talking over each other and laughing and all sorts. But it's good to be back in the saddle, and long may it continue. It's been a good discussion. This has been the TBK podcast. Your host David with my guys LL and Tunde. We out. And this is the TBK podcast.